And the fans here are excited because we've got one heck of a matchup tomorrow. Syracuse taking on Clemson, a battle of unranked teams, which is a bit of a surprise. Pittsburgh is top 15 in the country in scoring offense, and Miami held them to no shots on goal for the first time in 5 years. Bumpy roads often lead to beautiful places, and that's the hope for this Louisville squad, that those tough challenges last weekend can lead to success moving forward. Look, we got here about 10 hours ago at 9 a.m., and the parking lot was completely packed. That's just football down south, so you had a feeling that it was going to be a special game. And then once it kicked off, I mean, it was absolutely absurd. You start off with Syracuse going down the field and quickly scoring, and then the onside kick. The Syracuse team has belief that the counterattacking opportunities will be there if they keep more numbers forward. Where are the goals going to come from? At the start, there was no answer, but as the season's gone on, that answer has developed into Nick Kalukian. 3 goals over the last 5 matches. And
the move to Division I has created some more obstacles for the team to get past, but longtime head coach Dan Sheehan sees those obstacles as a way to get creative.
Its leader, CJ Kirst, understands that the recipe that got Cornell to the national championship in the past is what'll get the Big Red back to the big dance now. The Orange looked like they were shot out of a cannon at the start of the game, going up 17-0, and after a 2.5-hour lightning delay after halftime when the defense gave up only 7 points in the second half.
Syracuse in California for an Atlantic Coast Conference basketball game? I mean, do people in Berkeley even know where the Orange come from?
I have no idea. All right.
This could be New York, actually. This is Michigan.
Oh no, New York over here, right?
This is like Maine.
I'm not too familiar with the geography of New York. New York City. Okay, I don't know.
Not knowing where your conference opponent is from truly shows the absurdity of realignment. I mean, we're in California right now for the Atlantic Coast Conference. This has all had an impact on the court as well. Teams have really struggled going from coast to coast, and it's pretty simple why. These players are still human.
I was like, man, we here, we still here. I was like, man, we got to get to this game so I can go home. I missed my bed.
I'm happy to get home. It was fun while it lasted. Some pretty nice areas. Played some really good teams, but I'm sick of this West Coast era already.
Despite the odds stacked against them and the guys ready to get back home, the Cuse beat Cal. SU head coach Adrian Autry credited the team's chemistry.
This is a close-knit group. They all get along. They all pull for each other. I just think it says a lot about their character, right? That they came out, they played hard.
In beautiful Berkeley, California, Adam Gotkin, NCC News.
The mailman hates me because he's here constantly dropping off boxes.
To say Ryan Thayer loves lacrosse memorabilia would be an understatement.
I think I'm close to anywhere between 950 and 1,000.
His connection to the sport was natural.
I grew up in Salve, which is a mile away from West Jenny, which is, arguably the best high school lacrosse program to ever to exist. So I was right on the edge of great lacrosse.
Thayer knew he had to be involved in lacrosse. Luckily, his sister married Eric Burns, a local legend at West Genesee who was now a coach.
My brother-in-law wrote what we call ER lacrosse, Eric and Ryan, and all summers that's what we did. We would go run these camps. Lo and behold, my brother-in-law went back to coaching, and I decided, what if I got into apparel?
Ryan Thayer was ready to turn his lifelong passion of lacrosse into a business called Vintage Lax Brand, which has gone viral on social media, amassing almost 50,000 followers between Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. He's also been able to sell these collectibles and merchandise to his new fans.
Post 2-3 times a day and just grow the business.
In just the past month, Vintage Lax Brand has over 1 million page views on Instagram.
It's all the time. Hey, Mr. Vintage, it's the vintage guy. It's the vintage guy from TikTok.
The online success has translated to sales.
I have sold close to 1,000 vintage hats. I've sold a couple thousand vintage t-shirts with my own logo on that.
Thayer hopes to retire from his teaching job in a few years and run Vintage Lax Brand full-time. In Syracuse, Adam Gotkin, NCC News.
This week, Adam Gotkin takes us to Cornell, where lacrosse has the campus buzzing.
That's right. With just under 1 month to go in the season, Cornell is on the path towards reaching its goal. The Big Red are #1 in the country, but to find their main motivation, you have to go back a few years. Cornell men's lacrosse has the 6th most wins in NCAA history. The Big Red haven't won the national championship in almost 50 years, though. 3 seasons ago, Cornell came up just 2 goals short in the title game. The current crop of seniors were freshmen.
Having that motivation, losing a national championship, you go into every practice, every lift, every single day with that kind of chip on your shoulder. And
CJ Kirst has used that chip to turn into a 2-time All-American and one of the best players in the country. The feeling of defeat has trickled through the entire program to players who weren't even on that 2022 team.
And you kind of see the seniors are still fueled by that. They still think about it to this day. It's what kind of keeps them going. Like you talk about your why, and you get kind of bogged down in day to day, and you remember that why, like why you play this game. Obviously the goal is win a national championship.
This year's Cornell squad is certainly on the right track. The Big Red understand that the only way to get back to Memorial Day is to fall back on what worked before.
We have a sign in our locker room that says, I'll give my all for Cornell today, and just taking it day by day and making sure they're giving your all, and on that specific day it'll lead to good things in the future.
Taking things day by day has certainly worked up to this point. Kirst leads the country in points per game. Adam Gotkin, Spectrum News.
It was ugly against Boston College, but a win is a win and they survived. Last night, things were supposed to get somehow easier because Miami is that bad. The Hurricanes had won just 1 ACC game this year. It's a team that lost its head coach earlier in the season. In games like this, there is simply no option but to win. But this is Syracuse basketball in 2025, and it lost 91-84. So, with McCord and Co. gone, the Orange needed to bring in some new talent. Fortunately, that's where Fran Brown and his staff excel. The Cuse went out and grabbed its quarterback from the school that's produced 2 of the last 4 Heisman QB winners, LSU. The Baton Rouge native Ricky Collins is headed north after 2 seasons where he saw limited action in 4 games, but don't overlook this gunslinger. He was a top 15 quarterback out of high school and spent his true freshman year being mentored by none other than my favorite quarterback of all time, Jaden Daniels. We're just 11 days away from the start of the men's college lacrosse season, which means it's preseason poll time. Inside Lacrosse plays Syracuse at #2 in its initial rankings. Through 2 games, things have gone about as perfect as possible for Gary Gates' team, but on Monday night, things were set to get a whole lot tougher. #2 Syracuse hosted its first ranked opponent of the season, #16 Towson. Remember, the Orange beat the Tigers in the first round of the NCAA tournament last year, and this Towson team very good once again. The Tigers opened their season with a 1-goal loss against Johns Hopkins, who had just beaten Denver, who of course knocked out Syracuse last year, so Towson no slouch. You know who else is no slouch? Michael Leo, the ISO goal to get things going 2 minutes into the game after he had no points against Vermont. But Bowden Maurer said, hey, we're going to have a game here. Makes it a 1-goal game. That was the first goal for Towson. 2-1 at that point, 5 minutes in. But then this Syracuse offense showed why it's so elite. Luke Roa, what a start to the season. He has had 2 hat tricks last year. He's got 2 already this season. Owen Hiltz with a goal. Him and Spallina, once again, spectacular in this game. Hiltz had 7 points. Spallina had 6. How about John Mullen? 17 for 15 at the X. The tic-tac-toe. Spallina to Hiltz that time to put Syracuse up big. That's 8-4. The Orange doubling up the Tigers, but Towson gets one back, and it's 9-5 at the break. We jump ahead to the 4th quarter. Syracuse really starting to show off that physicality, and the defense just completely locked down. The Orange have given up just 17 goals through the first 3 games. That's the least since 1969. And by the way, again, that offense is just something special. Sam English, he hasn't really been scoring that many goals, but does it here as the shot clock was winding down to put the Cuse up by 5. And of course, this is Syracuse, so we have to have a behind-the-back That time it's Leo. That capped off his hat trick. And of course, Joey Spallina with the assist. Syracuse wins it 19-8. Another dominating win over a team to start this season. We went from one hockey to another. How about from football to football? Notre Dame against Syracuse this past weekend. What a stop from Shea Vanderbosch. This was very early in the game. Just in the 7th minute, 0-0, Leah Klenke, one of the top players in the country, an all-ACC player, with a rocket. But Shea Vanderbosch with an excellent stop. Not totally shocked to see the Syracuse men's lacrosse team #1 because of this. Oh! Between the legs, behind the back, Finn Thompson. That is just straight up silly. Early contender for goal of the year. First off, all credit to that pass by Hiltz. How does he find the back of the net on that? Behind the back, between the legs, the momentum is carrying him one way, and then his body goes the other.
Can we get the Adam Gotkin?
So he catches it here, and then, boop!
Don't rip the suit pants.
I'll try not. I mean, I'm not as athletic as Finn Thompson. Maybe back in my heyday, I could try something like that, but never would I actually get it done and into the net. I mean, it's just unreal.